The best in the big three is one of the most debated topics in anime history. Well, not including who's the strongest anime character. You Dragon Ball fans are awful sometimes, and everywhere, to the point that I can't even scroll on Twitter. My boy just beat cancer. Hey man, congratulations. I know cancer, it's a really sensitive topic and really hard. I bet the replies are really sweet and peaceful. Man, look at all these comments, replies. That's so sweet. What? Oh, never mind. I thought I saw some anime. What? Goku? What the hell is Goku doing in here? Wait, what? I heard you're pretty strong. You may have beaten stage 4, but are you ready for stage 5? Yo, what the fuck? Man, who needs Twitter? TikTok's more entertaining anyway.
So this is a flying Russian seal. Are
you on stream right now?
789 Goku. Oh, his favorite toys. I don't see 789. No way. The little girls. Anyway, I think the easiest way to end this debate is by comparing the categories each series does best in. As you can see on the screen, I have a list of 12 topics. I'm going to rank each of the big three according to the list and give reasoning to why each anime belongs there. I'm fully caught up to everything in the big three, including anime and manga, so I feel like I have a good judgment of what each series does best in. And at the end, I'll make a conclusion on what I think the best is. Lord help me, if I see a single "you're being biased" comment down below, I'm going to raid your... Let's begin first with the MC. I find all three MCs from the big three extremely lovable and entertaining in terms of being a main character. So comparing them here, I'm going to look more towards how they develop throughout the series. In order from worst to best, I have Ichigo, Naruto, and Luffy. Now, I feel like I had a difficult time ranking the last two because Ichigo and Naruto both have great development. Although both MCs show traits of hope, friendship, courage, and humility, Ichigo's character development compared to Naruto's is slightly different. Ichigo's development was a lot more trying to understand himself and the reason for why he's fighting, especially down to the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. That's where we see Ichigo use all his teachings that come together and how he fully learns to understand who he is in terms of his character, while Naruto's was a more steady and consistent change of character and behavior towards his many goals like acceptance. The jump that Naruto takes from the beginning of Naruto to Shippuden is very different. And the beginning of Shippuden Naruto compared to the 4th Great Ninja War Naruto are also very different, which is why I have Naruto slightly above Ichigo. And for Luffy, it's the way he embodies freedom that's just so beautifully done throughout One Piece. Not to mention his ambitions, dreams, sense of justice, leadership, and loyalty are all traits that make Luffy who he is. His character development is also less in your face and a lot more steady like Naruto's, but since it's a longer series, you start to pick up on it more after reflecting. While the other two are a little more drastic in your face type developments, Luffy's is more of a slow burn, which is why he easily takes the spot for number 1 on this list. Second, we'll touch on the deuteragonist of each series. This one I have a bit of a hot take, but in order from worst to best, I have Rukia, who's equal or greater to Zoro, who both get blown out of the water by Sasuke. The reasoning for why I have Rukia equal or greater to Zoro, making them basically interchangeable, is that I find Rukia's character is extremely overlooked in the world of Bleach because of the vast cast of characters. People often forget that Rukia has multiple scenes throughout Bleach where she's constantly educating Ichigo not only on how to become a Soul Reaper, but to be a better person, keeping him in check, teaching him the right and wrong, and also just being that entertaining and lovable deuteragonist in Bleach. She also doesn't just stick to Ichigo like a sore thumb, but has her own personal conflicts and goals throughout the series and develops from them. Now, that being said, Zoro also has everything that Rukia does, but for One Piece, keeping his captain in check when he sees things are out of line. And although Luffy's his right-hand man, he has his own conflicts and goals, like wanting to be one of the greatest swordsmen. A great comedic relief character, but also shows his undying loyalty to Luffy multiple times throughout the series. He never feels like he's attached to Luffy's side and plays the role of deuteragonist so well that people actually like Zoro more than Luffy, justifying why these two are interchangeable in my opinion. But for Sasuke, he's leaps and bounds away from both to the point where he feels like he's the MC of the show multiple times when reading and watching. His goals are constantly changing and evolving throughout Naruto as he learns the truth of the Uchiha clan and Itachi. His dynamic and parallel to Naruto is the best in fiction that it's not even comparable. Probably one of the best revenge stories we'll ever get in anime for a long time, and his character was inspired by Kurapika, whom he surpassed in terms of having a better revenge story, and his character development and story was just done so well, making him number 1. Third, we'll dive into the cast of the big three. In order from worst to best, it's Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. Now, I have Naruto last for a great reason. Let's say I take the 10 best characters from all three of the big three. which I have here on the screen. You can pause and read them quickly if you like. In my opinion, Naruto wins for sure, but cast doesn't mean 10 best. It means overall, and unfortunately after these 10, the fall off is drastic in terms of having a consistently strong cast, which I think Bleach and One Piece does a great job of. I did have some trouble originally between Bleach and One Piece, as both shows have a diverse and compelling cast of characters that have complex personalities, character growth, rich backstories, unique character design, etc. Both series also do a great job of keeping a lot of its big cast relevant while also adding new characters to the story. So, to figure out who has a better cast, I just took the top 10 characters from both and compared them, having Bleach slightly above One Piece in terms of having a better cast. Fourth, we'll talk more about the cast from the big three, but specifically the antagonists slash villains. In order from worst to best, I have One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. The reasoning for why One Piece is last is because the ratio of good to bad antagonists are off. For example, the great villains in One Piece are Doflamingo, Katakuri, Kaido, Crocodile, Rob Lucci, Arlong, all fantastic villains who played an amazing role in One Piece. But we also have a lot of bad to average ones like Wapol, Caesar, Kuros, Gecko Moria, Orochi, Foxy, Hordy, Baroque Works, aside from Daz Bones and Bon Clay, and the Don't Kill family, and also a handful of more. On top of that, we also have a lot of antagonists who just aren't finished because the story is still ongoing, like Blackbeard, a lot of the admirals, Smoker, and even future antagonists to come. Matter of fact, quote me right now, I think once One Piece is finished, Blackbeard will be the best antagonist in the big three. But until then, One Piece will sit happily in last. Next, Bleach and Naruto are both fairly strong in terms of having an overall great cast of villains slash antagonists. But I think Naruto takes the upper hand in terms of having a better consistent cast of villains compared to Bleach, like Madara, the Akatsuki, Zabuza, Gaara, Orochimaru, Kabuto, etc. While Bleach does still have a great cast too, like Aizen, Gin, Tosen, a few of the Espadas, Kujo, Tsukishima, Jugram, etc. But the fall off of Bleach villains compared to Naruto is noticeable. And I also have Obito is better than Aizen, which is a hot take to some, but a cold take for others. I also like the villain groups in Bleach and Naruto as they're the cornerstones in certain arcs and each have their own ambitions that aren't just to be evil, which makes the story a lot more interesting. Fifth, once again, expanding on the cast, we'll talk about the female cast. In order from worst to best, I have Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. I feel like this isn't rocket science and this category is pretty self-explanatory. Naruto sucks badly at writing female characters. The best three are probably Tsunade, Sakura, and Hinata, and none of them are above a 7 out of 10. Let alone the rest of the female cast in the show. Now for Bleach, while I was reading, I originally thought that they'd have a better female cast in One Piece, but after completing the series, I was incorrect. That being said, there is still a very strong cast of female characters who don't fall into the typical save me type of cliche, like Rukia, Unohana, Yoruichi, Nell, Soifone, etc. Kubo does a great job of writing independently strong women flawlessly. I will say though, some do lack goals and ambitions, but aside from that, still have an amazing overall side cast of female characters. Now, with One Piece, I've learned from my mistake. In a previous video, I said Boa Hancock is one of the few well-written women in One Piece, implying One Piece doesn't have that many great female characters. But after being called out in the comments, I reflected upon my opinion and looked into it, to find that I was very mistaken. Aside from the obvious female characters who excel in One Piece, like Nami, Robin, Boa, Vivi, Big Mom, Yamato, the female cast are almost fully developed with their own ambitions, drives, and tragedies, like Koala, Riju, Carrot, Pudding, Perona, Viola, and many more. One girl I don't agree with is Rebecca, but that's a different take for a different video. Sixth is going to be character design. In order from worst to best, I have Naruto, One Piece, Bleach. Naruto has some pretty great character designs for ninjas, which is surprising when you look at some. Even the tailed beasts have super dope designs, but not enough to get second. One Piece, on the other hand, does a great job of having extremely unique character design with their cast. Throughout the multiple arcs in One Piece, the level of uniqueness in character design is S tier for sure. Even something like generic like animals, dwarfs, fishmen, giant are all done in an exotic way. But even with the S tier character design, I feel like Kubo has mastered the art of character design in a way that I can't describe it. Characters, bankais, outfits, all in a league of their own. S+++ without a doubt. The anime didn't give the manga justice for certain characters and certain parts that he's drawn, but In the manga, Kubo definitely put a lot of time and effort into making these beautiful designed characters, especially in the cover art for a lot of these chapters and also the cover art in the manga. 7th, we'll discuss who has the best plot. In order from worst to best, I have Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. Bleach and Naruto both have pretty good executions for its story, but it lacks around the ending with Kaguya and Yuhaba, especially since both series have a small handful of unanswered questions and plot holes like Hashirama cells, lack of explanation for Bankais, information on the Soul King, how Yuhaba lost, how Hashirama died if he was the strongest shinobi, etc. But even with these flaws, both series do a good job of having good plot twists, interesting story, rising action, conflict for the main characters, etc. But having One Piece being first was inevitable. The way the story expands on so many different themes and topics for each arc is insane. We can't forget Oda, the foreshadowing king, constantly foreshadowing future events that take part in the story. Oda also does a fantastic job of character build-up and also story build-up. The One Piece will forever be the greatest build-up in anime history, and there's still other plot points that we're still waiting to have, which are also being built up as we speak, like who wrote the poneglyphs, what is the will of D, Luffy's real dream, who's Joy Boy, the Void Century, who is Emu, etc. This meme helps describe somewhat how I feel about the plot of the big three. 8th, world building. In order from worst to best, I have Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. I feel like this topic is so self-explanatory, I don't even have to go in depth for it. Naruto being villages, which each having their own themes, are pretty cool. But again, in a world of ninjas, it feels pretty repetitive at times, and the world doesn't really involve the characters too much. Bleach, having the least amount of settings in the big three, does a good job of creating interesting worlds that involve the characters around them and having unique themes. And of course, One Piece. Even viewers who haven't even read or watched One Piece know how insane the world building is and how it constantly involves the characters, plot, and theme that's going around in the story. Even the One Piece world is very detailed, from the east, north, south, west blue, Grand Line, Red Line, and the New World. Oda is the king of world building, and it's night and day when compared to other anime manga. 9th, one of my favorite things in anime, which is fights. In order from worst to best, I have One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. One Piece being last shouldn't be a surprise to many because their fights are heavily motivated by the reasoning behind it rather than just throwing hands, which is good, but visually they aren't the best and sometimes they're dragged out. And the other two do better in terms of reasoning and great choreography. Bleach has great fights from Soul Society all the way up to the 1,000-Year Blood Work, so they're consistent, and great build-ups for fights, which One Piece does lack, mainly because it isn't finished. But Naruto has the perfect blend of everything you need in a fight. Build-ups, you got it. Visuals, they're there from OG all the way to Shippuden. Choreography, on point. And those points are considered for side characters too, not just Naruto or Sasuke fights. Shikamaru versus Hidan, Gaara versus Lee, Obito versus Kakashi, 3 fights that hit all the points I just mentioned perfectly. 10th, I didn't mention this in fights because I wanted to speak about it here, but animation. In order from worst to best, I have Bleach, Naruto, One Piece. Now look, before the Bleach fans come at me in the comments, I'm looking overall. Yes, I know the 13 episodes of 1,000 Year was perfection, but at the moment I can't put it any higher just for 13 episodes. Naruto has pretty good animation, especially since it aired in 2002, and Shippuden definitely got an animation buff as well, but there are weaker moments in terms of animation during certain arcs, but it doesn't take away from the overall consistency. Now for One Piece, pre-timeskip animation feels so clean for old style that when we hear a timeskip is approaching, we all know we're gonna miss the old style of animation, until the timeskip comes and the animation is better compared to pre-timeskip, not to mention the upgrades for certain characters. Although there is controversy on certain characters changing skin tones, cough cough Zoro Robin, the animation in post-timeskip all the way to Whole Cake is very good. Then Wano comes in and Toei reveals their trap card, and shows us just how competitive they can be with the Flash animation studios like Bones, Ufotable, and Mappa. Wano alone honestly earned One Piece the first spot in terms of animation. 11th will be the power system. In order from worst to best, I have One Piece, Bleach, and Naruto. For the One Piece fans that's gonna get upset in the comments, I love Devil Fruits. The creativity with them have been endless with Oda. Different types of Paramecia, Zoans, Logias are all well done by Oda. Not to mention the addition of Haki and Awakenings are game-changing in terms of creativity. But sometimes I see stupid Devil Fruits and it just reminds me of quirks from My Hero, like Mr. Five's Devil Fruit, which made me hate him. He didn't do anything wrong, it's literally just his Devil Fruit. I also feel that once we get the origin of devil fruits and how they came and why people can't swim in eating them and a lot of questions like that answered, I'll put devil fruits higher up on my list in terms of power system, but for now they'll sit happily at third. Next, Bleach. I did originally have this as my favorite power system in the big three when I finished the anime, but after reading the manga it started to feel a little less interesting as it did originally. Now, that being said, Zanpakutos and different releases are the coolest thing Kubo could have done. This was another moment where for sure he put a lot of time and effort into when making the series. Even the beautiful and cool ass Bankais from everyone is just perfect. My problem isn't actually Zanpakutos or Kido, but other users that have powers like Orihime, Chad, the Espadas, and the Fullbringers. I don't know if it's just me, but it just doesn't feel right in the world of Bleach to watch Espadas go from using swords to transforming into animals and fighting with their limbs. I feel like this could just be a personal issue, but I don't know. I'll give credit to the Quincy's though. I didn't have a problem with any of their forms, releases, and weapons, but because it fell off to me, I have to put it at second. And finally, Naruto. I think Naruto's power system is actually heavily underrated and overlooked in anime as it's pretty detailed and creative as shit. I love seeing the different clans with their different techniques, as well as the different types of eyes throughout the series, like Rinnegan, Byakugan, and Sharingan. Also, the whole concept of chakra flow and how you have to use the channels is well done, especially since we have to watch Naruto gradually learn how to use different abilities, and it didn't just feel like he just learned it all from the jump. As well as taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu used differently throughout different missions and battles is a great idea for ninjas, and since a lot of different ninjas have a lot of different techniques, you get to see a vast majority of this cool ass, diverse power system. Finally, the 12th topic, transformations. In order from worst to best, I have Naruto, Bleach, and then One Piece. For transformations, Naruto and Bleach are pretty interchangeable considering that both MCs have clean and unique transformations that reflect their character and who they are. Naruto's first couple of transformations are just leaks of power from the Nine Tails, but as he slowly starts to understand himself and accept Kurama, his transformations begin to change along with him. And the same goes to Ichigo. As Ichigo struggled with understanding who he is and what he's fighting for, at times it reflected in his mask, his Zanpakuto, and transformations. And as he came to understand who he truly is, it got better over time. But Luffy is completely different compared to the other two. Gear 2 to 4 was Luffy starting to understand and take advantage of his Devil Fruit, which is what it originally looked like. But after the reveal of Gear 5, we can see that his transformations are all ways that Luffy envisioned them, showing that it's his choice, surprisingly linking once against the freedom. Also, Gear 5 was just so sick, and reading One Piece weekly and seeing the chapters release and the community going nuts over it had me in the best mood. I had Gear 5 on my lock screen for like 7 months straight. Anyway, now that I've ranked everything accordingly, the total score is Bleach 2, Naruto 4, and One Piece 6, making One Piece the best in the big three and Bleach the worst. But at the end of the day, the big three are all amazing series and not a single one of them are perfect. Plus, enjoyment plays a big factor into what series you'll love the most. And the fact that they're all still relevant to this day shows how amazing they are individually. If you don't agree with the order in one of these categories, make sure to mention it in the comments. Since we're still a small channel, we read every single comment and will most likely reply to it as well. Regardless, if you agree or not, make sure to like the video and subscribe to see more content like this. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.